Today, on episode 11 of the Reaper Paranormal Show, we are discussing The Devil Made Me Do It. And we have a special guest, Shae, joining us today. Did I just do that twice now?
So, we and I thought you were doing the teaser before the timer.
I know. I didn't, did I?
He goes, I'm going to do the teaser and then the timer, and then all of a sudden the timer just went.
I did a timer first. Oh, Jesus. All right, we'll do it next week.
Okay.
All right, I'll be fixing this all in post now. Jesus fucking Christ. Thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Roy, and I'm joined by my co-host and RPI team member, Tom. Today we have a special guest, RPI team member, Shae. And the reason why I'm laughing is because I totally botched our original opening, which was edited. Yeah, story of my life. That's how I do things. So, how you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I did all this research on a cool story that I have that we'll talk in the future. And we're not even discussing it today. We're discussing something else. So, thank God for that. So, I'm going to be the village idiot today. I'll just be chiming in with some blithering idiotic comments. So you know, the usual. The usual. Half of the course, you know. It's really the typical day in the life of Roy. So how you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. The weather in here in Massachusetts has been ridiculous. I just took the dog out before we started the show, and the wind has calmed down a bit around. I live in the South Shore, and it's not as bad right now. But man, when the wind's blowing, it is cold.
It is cold here in Rhode Island, man. Woo.
Ridiculous. All right, so Shae, you gonna lead us off with the story today?
I am. We're going to be learning about talking about whatever.
Well, I'll be learning.
You'll be learning. We're talking about Arnie Cheyenne Johnson, and he is he's the main character or the main person from Devil Made Me Do It, which is going to be a movie coming out in 2021, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
So Arnie Johnson was found guilty of killing Alan Bono, which was his landlord. And the story is really, it's very complex, and I actually had a lot of fun reading about it. His girlfriend had an 11-year-old brother named David, and he started acting not like himself, and it was thought that he might be possessed by the devil or by a demon. And his family, being concerned, sought out Ed and Lorraine Warren, who agreed with them that yes, he's probably possessed and stuff like that. So the Warrens reached out to the church and their contacts and eventually got it. So they had 6 different priests, I believe, if I have that number correct.
That's the same number I had. Yeah, 6.
Yeah, agree that he is in fact possessed by a demon. And again, I've seen conflicting reports, so I'm not 100% sure that I'm 100% here. But what I'm reading is that during one of the exorcism attempts, Arnie Johnson got very protective and just goaded the demon to come into him.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah,
me
too, absolutely.
I have a quote actually from him because it was at that point. They were starting to get really worried about David. It was getting pretty dire. And I think Lorraine Warren at that point had even, contacted like health officials and stuff and been like, this is getting dire here. Yeah. And he, the quote's very loose. I put that, and he's just, he said, "Leave my little buddy alone. Take me on." And
what year was this?
1981.
81, yes.
Oh, that long ago, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
81.
so like we said, it's Arnie goaded him on to leave the little boy and come into him, and then what happens from there kind of proves to some at least that it in fact did. The little boy recovered. He seemed to have gotten better. But Arnie started acting out of character for himself. And on the day that he killed Alan Bono, he had called out of work, which was not like him at all. And he went to spend the day with his girlfriend at her work, and she worked at a kennel that was owned by Alan Bono's sister. And he was in state helping her run it. So some of the things I read said that Alan Bono was doing things to maybe push his buttons and stuff like that. Arnie Johnson was helping him fix his stereo, working on his car, and doing different things like that. And it seemed like Alan Bono he would play with the volume and get it really loud, and maybe being a little inappropriate with the girlfriend and a little, doing different things to kind of goad him on. But anybody that I've seen interviewed and anybody that I've seen giving quotes and stuff like that has said that it's not like Arnie Johnson to act in a violent way, even when he's angry. Needless to say, he did. And that happened to be the day that he killed Alan Bono.
Yeah. So in my research too, after he had said that, take me on, leave my little buddy alone, take me on. Yeah, I don't know if you found this. It might be a conflicting report, Shae, that it was either later that day or the next day he actually got into a car accident, totaled his car. He was fine.
Wow, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I guess he totaled the car. That was sort of the first, to some people, that was their first inkling, and then, then the other stuff too. At one point, I think I left this out when they were saying it was Dyer, and I don't know if you saw this when Lorraine Warren was saying it was Dyer. Apparently, the priest and Ed Warren, they asked the demons to name themselves, and when they were possessing David, the 11-year-old, and they counted 43 different names. So they think that some of them think that he was possessed by 43 different demons or entities.
I saw that. That's insane. Yeah, absolutely.
How is that possible, man?
Oof.
It's a little boy. It's crazy that.
Have you guys ever heard of that?
I hadn't. Not 43.
I mean, I guess I've heard of more than one, but mainly
43 is extreme, though.
Yeah, I think the most I've ever heard of in a case that I've looked up was like 5 or 6. And so 43, like, wow. And he's 11 years old.
Jesus.
So, oof.
Yeah.
Was that kid able to function at all? Like, when you're business with that many, like, that all this stuff's going on, that's a lot. It's going to be a lot of pressure, especially on a young child. Like, I'm amazed he was able to live through that.
Apparently, before he started deteriorating, some of the stuff I had read was that he was threatening to harm the family, and then he was talking about old men appearing to him because he was having he would have night terrors, and then he was saying that old man with black eyes came in the form of a demonic beast and would speak to him in Latin, which different accounts said he kind of understood, even though he's 11 and never had spoken Latin. And this entity would swear to take his soul, and then during the day he was having day terrors, and it was an old man with a white beard dressed in flannel and jeans, but he had jagged teeth and horns and stuff. And then shortly after that, he kind of, as far as mine, you might have different, is when it started getting really, really bad. And to Roy's question, I don't think I think they were afraid he was going to die. That's why she got contacted.
Yeah, they definitely got to a point where they became desperate, and that's why so many priests stepped in. They were calling medical professionals. I can't even imagine how terrifying that must have been.
Oof. I can't either. That's, oh God. Oof.
I don't know. I think about my kid when he was 11, and they're so small, and I can't. I don't even know. It breaks my heart thinking of how scary this. But now, he has. I think it was in 2014. I think I have the year wrong. Oh, anyways, they released a book on that whole event, the exorcism and everything like that. And the little boy now, sued and said it was all fraud and it was fake and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh,
but
wow.
the guy that wrote the book, however, has recorded interviews with not just the Warrens, but the boy's family, his sister, his parents, his siblings and stuff like that, who hours and hours worth of interview. He sent them the book before he had it published and really looked at and made sure in every way that they were happy with it, that they agreed with it, and he just denies all of it.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder, do you think he may, I'm just speculating, either he has no recollection of it, or
that's what I think.
You think? Or another thought crossed my mind, like that he, when people have traumatic things and they build a block, and they just block that point or that thing in their life, that time frame in their life away and don't remember it.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not know all that. Holy cow.
Yeah. But I guess he was pretty young when the first one was when it was released originally, but then it was re-released, and that's when he had sued.
Oh, okay. Oh. Wow.
Yeah. Kind of. I think after one kind of, I don't know, I guess cool thing about it that came out of it, but Arnie and his girlfriend got married while he was still in jail, and I believe they remained married until I think he passed away a couple years ago.
Do you know how old he was?
I don't actually, because I'm getting 2 different years.
Yeah, I never really saw an age for Arn or Arnie or
it's not important. I was just curious.
Or Debbie there, the sister. I never. So I the only age that I came across was the boy being 11 years old. It's just.
And there was the movie.
And there was some other stuff, like there was also the typical sort of things you see in exorcism movies. According to my research, he would start to show scratches and bruises from unknown things, or would like move and be like, I just got hit by something. Yeah.
This kind of reminds me of a case that we're supposed to be doing at some point. Not too far from me. An old friend of mine, family, son ended up passing away.
Oh, don't tell me anything if you want me to. I don't want to know anything. Sorry.
I won't say anything.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Don't go any further.
Not that important, but
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nothing.
Do we want to explain why she doesn't want to hear anything?
Oh yeah, hi. Sorry.
Some of our listeners or viewers.
Go ahead, Shae. Tell them why you don't want to hear nothing. Tell them why you're being rude and interrupting.
She is not.
Oh my gosh. I actually don't like knowing anything. Not that I'm going on the case. You haven't actually invited me, but I'm assuming what you're talking about.
No one's been invited yet. We haven't got the case yet. Officially.
Well,
Officially. I
like to go in blind. I like to go in not knowing anything because when I pick something up using my clairvoyant tendencies, I would prefer it be natural and
nobody can say, well, you knew this, you knew that, you know what I mean? Because you're always going to have skeptics in anything. And that's what I appreciate about you is like,
I love that.
You don't want to know. And
nope, not a thing.
Not a lot of people would do that.
Yeah, I love that. That's what a lot of the things I like about our team too. It's so scientific, and yeah, just that you're not doing all this ton of research. So you're coming in, because even if you're coming in and you're not trying to be a huckster, if you have that knowledge, it's going to lead you in certain directions.
It is. It absolutely is. It's. I just want to be as natural as possible with it. So.
And it's like the whole matrixing thing.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Tom.
I said I just totally dated myself saying huckster.
I thought that too. I was like, oh, because I could have done the same thing. But no, I was just saying that it's like the whole matrixing thing. Like, if I take a picture of something and I say, hey, don't you see a face in that mirror? You're going to see the face in the mirror. It's just automatic because your brain's telling you to see it. So it's what the whole. It's why you see real teams and real investigators will say, like, what do you see? Like when we do audio, or when I usually go over audio, and I present it to the team, I might have it on paper what I think it is, but I'll ask everyone their own individual thing, and there are levels of audio of what they mean and how clear it is matters. And we've had audio where people clearly knew what it said, and we've had audio where it was like 14 different things. So it's like we let our team figure out for themselves things, so nobody can say, well, you kind of led them. Because I've seen teams do that. I've seen teams say, hey, don't you hear, like, I think they said what? Well, now everyone hears that now.
Yeah. They do it on all the ghost shows that you see on TV and stuff. They're totally leading you where they want you to go. So.
What I would do when I watched the show, when I knew they were going to play back an audio, I would either mute it or cover my ears so I couldn't hear what. Oh, don't you hear? Yep. Or I close my eyes because they show the writing on the screen. I close my eyes and listen for myself, try to figure out. A lot of times I'm like, I don't hear a damn thing. Like, what the hell? That's just gibberish.
So as far as the story, did we say what happened at the end with Arnie?
So he was sentenced to 10 to 20 years. I don't know if this is what you mean, but he was sentenced to 10 to 20 years, and he ended up serving 5 years, and then he got out because of his good behavior. One kind of side fact to do with it, did you know that the murder of Alan Bono was the first murder recorded in Brookfield, and it's 193 years at that point? Jesus that is Christ. So, it's not cool. It's awful. I'm sad, but
it's pretty cool.
Kind
actually.
of a neat fact.
I think it's cool.
That's actually the first line of my notes. I'm glad you brought that up because I totally glossed over it. Yeah, they were in 1980. They were celebrating their 193rd homicide-free year. That's crazy.
So what you're saying is they didn't piss off Robert the Doll?
No, they didn't do it. They
I love Shae's face.
Did and made Robert come after me.
We have to get Shae's mother on the show sometime. I want to see if her mother has the same expression Shae has.
She doesn't, unfortunately. I'm way more cartoony in the face area than most people.
Every time I mention Robert the Doll, go ahead, Shae.
My kid has the exact same face as me, though, so he would make all the same faces if he understood the magnitude of what you're doing right now.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, we keep promoting those episodes because with Tom having those issues, and like I said, like Tom says last episode, if you guys haven't listened to the episodes, listen to them because Tom had some stuff happen and some big stuff happened. It wasn't just like little minor things. And Tom respected him. I think he's a punk. Yeah. He did nothing to me.
Oh, Roy, stop it.
Yes, Roy loves poking the bear. And
oh, my word.
And I had some stuff, and most people know if you've been listening that I want it all to be real, but I'm a kind of a skeptic, but some of the stuff that happened was pretty weird that it happened right after that episode. So
I know. If I had to say, I would say it wasn't Robert the Doll. But that being said, it was very coincidental that all that stuff happened to you after that. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like in a short time span, it was just one thing after another that just happened.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I'm a skeptic.
Yeah, I think it was a matter of 10 days. All that stuff happened in a 10-day span after that episode. So definitely check out that episode.
You
And-
know, if any of that shit happened to Roy, this would be a different,
Oh yeah.
different story.
Yes, it would. Oh yes, it would.
He wouldn't mess with me. He knows better.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
I don't know.
Don't forget. I have ghosts living here, so they got my back.
I'm aware. No, they are very disappointed in you. Actually,
I'm sure they are. Well,
they want you to stop.
they actually don't even know me. It's all Rick's family.
They know you now.
Oh, well, yeah, now they do, yeah. I remember when I moved in, when I first started coming over here, I was like, great. You know, the parents are like, who's that black dude? Then I move in, I'm like, they're probably like, oh, God, he's moving in? Because I was hanging around them for years, like 10 years before I even moved in. So I can see the ghost like, really? Because I can actually remember one night I was in bed, and I look up, and a shadow figure leaned into my room, and kind of just looked at me. Well, I assume he was looking at me. And I remember looking at the shadow figure, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. I just rolled over and went back to sleep because I'm like, I don't want to deal with you. If you're going to make noise, don't. I'm trying to go to sleep. And then he didn't do anything, but.
So maybe, that every once in a while on your camera for our people watching this episode, you think the ghost is doing that little glitch in your camera every time?
Anything's possible, I guess. It is funny though, because like we discussed on our Geek Perspective channel, and if you want to hear some good stuff, you listen to this video. If you're watching this video, check out our Geek Show. We do a lot of cool stuff on there, also challenges or whatever. But on that channel, my video was kind of glitching just slightly, kind of like when you're watching those first-person found footage. As Tom keeps calling, thank you, Tom. Found footage videos. The little glitches that happens. That's what's happened to me.
Do you know when that happens? I can actually tell you when that happens.
Oh yeah.
Every time you bring him up.
Who?
No,
I know. Who would that be?
Nope.
Yeah,
She's all serious. Nope.
I'm not saying.
However, I want to kind of remember the time, and you can edit this out after. But between 20 and 20 through, between 20 minutes and about 22 minutes, the doorway behind you, I think I saw something walk by, and I don't know if there's actually someone back there, but I kind of caught it while you were talking, and I don't know if it was light play, but that's something to kind of think
It's
about.
funny you say that because every once in a while, when I go to the bathroom and like late at night, I'll come out and I swear someone's well, no, I'm looking right at it, and I'm like, I swear someone's standing there. I'm like, and Rick's brothers, Billy and Dave, both passed away, and Dave passed away here. A lot of us passed away here. But Dave passed away here, and I had to do CPR on him when he passed away. His niece came and got me, and I had to go upstairs, and I ended up he was dead. I work in the medical field. I knew he was gone, but you have to do CPR.
Yeah.
So I just started doing CPR. Now all I'm thinking is he had other underlying conditions. So I knew for sure. I'm doing CPR. I'm like, if I bring him back, he's gonna kill me. He is so gonna kill me. And even his brother later said, "Yeah, he would have been pissed at you." I'm like, I know. Even Chris, you know Chris, Shae. She would have been pissed.
Yeah.
She said he would have been pissed. I'm like, I know. I'm doing CPR. Like, don't come back. Don't come back.
Is he the gentleman in the hat?
He wore baseball caps.
Yeah. All right.
His father's probably here. His mother's probably here. Bunny, his grandmother, I don't know. Bunny was awesome. I used to come over, when I come over and visit, she'd be in the side room where my room is now, and she would come out about 7 o'clock for her liquor. She's like, I want my liquor and my cheese and crackers. I'm ready. She'd be like, hi, Roy, how are you? I'm like, I'm good, Bunny, how you doing? And then Chris would make her drink, give her cheese and crackers, and Bunny be all happy in a little room, and,
Oh,
So, yeah.
so cute.
A lot of cool stories with this house. There's the baby crying story. We were going Black Friday. What's that?
You told me that one, I think.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you that story, Tom?
No.
we were going Black Friday shopping. I haven't lived here yet. And it was probably like 5 years before, even if not longer. And I came over, and me, Chris, and Keita were going Black Friday shopping, and Chris and Keita went outside to get everything in the truck ready because Chris was driving. She had a big Suburban, and so they were getting stuff out of the truck and starting the truck, getting it warmed up. So I stayed in the house, and all of a sudden, I heard a baby crying.
Ooh.
So I'm like, is Shelby crying? Because Shelby was a baby then.
Okay.
And so I went in, and she wasn't a baby. She was like 3.
You know,
She was
young.
yeah, she was sound asleep, not making a sound. And I'm like, and I heard it again. And I'm like, that's not Shelby. No idea where it came from. And it was like 4 a.m, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't outside. Hope there wasn't a baby outside at 4 a.m, but
Yeah, I would hope.
I'm assuming it wasn't,
That's creepy.
And then there was another time when I was downstairs, I was coming upstairs, I heard a little girl go, help me. It was like, alrighty then. And I stood there for a minute in case something else was said. And nothing else got said. And it was very quiet, so I'm like, that probably wasn't outside. The windows weren't open. Really? Every time, But yeah, it was a very quiet voice, help me. It could have been in Richie's room. He could have had a TV on, possibly. He was home.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a possibility. But it was weird. I was like, and I waited just in case something was said again, in case there was a follow-up, but it's never happened again, though, so I don't know. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff happened here.
When you get stuff with, like, babies crying or little kid sound, it ramps up the creepiness to, like, a 15 when it's dealing with, for me, at least, with children and hauntings and stuff. I get so creeped out by that.
The interesting thing is, this used to be a doctor's office over 100 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So there would have been kids here in this house.
Yeah.
This house was zoned for business, and they found some really old tools at one point that could have been from a doctor's office. Because, back then you used primitive saws and, and they showed them to me. I'm like, wow. I don't know what they ended up doing with the stuff, but they dug up some weird stuff.
Creepy.
Yep.
That was creepy. We caught I was upstairs with my mom because you were talking about EVPs earlier. I was upstairs with my mom. This is a couple years ago now, and she's been having a little bit of activity and stuff like that. So every once in a while, I would just like throw out the recorder and kind of just see if we can catch something on recorder, something to show, something physical. And it was really kind of neat. So we set up the recorder, and she likes to try to have just conversations with them to see how they respond. And we set up the recorder, and we were making coffee. So we offered him coffee. And I know it sounds kind of dumb. We actually made him a cup of coffee. We put it down on the table. I shit you not, clear as day. And I can say it because, honestly, we both heard it on the recorder. Perfect, clear as day. That's all you get for a quarter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And it was like we put the coffee down. We're like, we hope you enjoy it or whatever we said. And like perfect timing. That's all you get for a quarter. It was just crazy.
I have a question about your mom.
Mm-hmm.
But we actually do have a case. One of the girls at work swears she has stuff going on in her house. She's seen shadow figures. So I told her, unless something gets crazy, when the weather gets a little warmer, she likes to have parties and hang out and stuff like that. So if you want, she lives in Bridgewater,
Okay.
which is it's not far from me, Tom. It's like 15 minutes away.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
It's really close.
Yeah, and I said, what we'll do is when it warms up, we'll come to your house. If you want to have a little cookout or something, we'll hang out and we'll do an investigation. And then afterwards, if it's not too late, we'll hang out and
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, anytime.
Cool.
So I said, yeah. So if you have a time you want us to come out, let us know. And other than that, we'll plan it for something when it warms up a little bit. And she's like, yeah. She's like, I have a pool. We'll, people can go swimming, and if you want to do it then, whatever. I'm like, yeah, nice.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, I feel like if you want to do an investigation, though, I feel like heavily populated might not be the best idea.
Well, no, I'm not saying have a lot of people there. I'm thinking that this, which I should click. Good point. I can clarify that with her. not have people over when we're doing the investigation.
Just for noise pollution.
I was thinking just our team and her
Oh,
and her family. I should clarify that with her. Thank you for bringing that up. So as far as your mom, and I think I asked you this a while back. Now, what's her view
She's
of all
not
this?
single. Stop asking.
She's what? You're the one trying to fix me up with her. How does she feel about the paranormal?
What do you mean? Like
does she believe in it? Does
yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
No questions. My younger brother saw a lot when he was little, a lot, and he was he had a rough go of it when he was little. So she's very believing.
Cool. I was just curious, and I think I asked you that a while ago. I'm sure I probably have. It was it just popped in my head again for some reason.
Yeah.
So back to The Devil Made Me Do It. Hopefully this movie comes out
I hope
this
so.
spring because that's we did it. We talked about it on the show 8 months
So
ago.
you're seeing spring?
And I thought they said it was supposed to be out this spring originally, but then I thought it might have got pushed back because of COVID and everything.
I don't remember. The most recent I just saw, I said 2021, so I don't know. But hopefully soon. I really.
Well, my dumb luck because I want to see it.
June 4th, 2021.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that's okay.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you guys: is it a movie we should get together to go see?
If it's safe to, I will.
If it lets us, yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. I wasn't even thinking of that.
That's only a couple months from now. It's yeah. I don't know.
Well, I should be safe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll have that.
I survived the vaccine.
Yeah,
I didn't turn green. My penis didn't fall off. My lead balls are still there.
I thought they were brass. Make up your mind.
Yeah,
they're lead inside, but they're brass on the outside.
Careful with lead, man. Lead makes. I just actually we're doing all the research on stuff, finding like a lot of what they think, where they thought people were possessed, like back in the day, and
lead
a lot
poisoning.
And a lot of artists like Van Gogh and Da Vinci, they think that like towards the end of their lives, where they went sort of crazy and stuff, it's because of the lead paint. So
my lead special.
Be careful with those lead balls. You might be poisoning yourself.
No, my lead balls are special.
Do you watch Prodigal Son?
I do. I saw that episode.
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, great. I tried getting Roy on it. Then he's like, "Nah, I'm not into like serial killer stuff." I was like, "Oh, yeah. I totally am." So,
but it's not just serial killer stuff. It's so much more.
Yeah, it is so much more.
I should have brought this up on the Geek Show. February 28th, Walking Dead.
I'm so excited, but I'm not.
Well, it's ending, so I'm excited because
what I'm not excited about is the one-person episodes constantly.
No, that's horrible. I'm not looking forward to that at all.
But that's all it's gonna be.
I know, but I'm hoping that it goes fast and they can get the new season going. I know it won't, but yeah,
I'm excited for Negan's.
Yeah, that's the only one I want to see actually.
Yeah, that'll be cool. But like I said, Roy knows this. I've been saying for years it should end. It's like I love the show. I love the comic book.
But enough's enough.
Enough is enough.
I remember when it first came on, I was like, I'm gonna be the only one watching this show. And then it was gonna end in 2 weeks. And then when it was going on 8th season, 9th season, and I'm like, it's just not good anymore. But I'm one of those people. If I'm invested, I have to see it through.
Same here.
Which I hate that because it's like.
Same here.
It has to be really super bad for me to say I can't watch this anymore. And it's like I got to see it through. And then now knowing a lot of the cast from working with them at the convention, it's like. Well, a lot of them are gone now, actually. And the one member I was supposed to meet didn't even show up because he was filming some scenes, so he never came down. But it's like the people that I met that were still on the show, that's probably why I kept watching it because, you get to know them and they're nice people. And again, I'm a sucker. If I meet you as a celebrity and you're nice to me and you're a nice person, I want to support you because we don't get enough of nice people, famous people in the world. All you hear is the bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when
I feel you. I will say, just want my last thought on The Walking Dead, because whatever. The Walking Dead World Beyond, the new one with the kids there, the 2-season thing, that show's rotten. Rotten.
I won't even watch it. They were saying that there might be Andrew Lincoln appearance. I don't even care. I won't watch it.
No,
he could put even if he appeared on a major part of the episode, I wouldn't watch it. I just no.
No, the showrunner said no. He's not appearing.
Oh, he's not. Okay, because that was one of the rumors.
He made that clear at the end of the first season. He goes, "I just wanted to do this because I hear people are getting excited about Andrew Lincoln popping up. He will not be in this show. It is like it might tie into the movies, but he's not going to be in the show. So yeah, show's rotten.
All right.
Yeah, not interested. Have you ever watched Evil?
That's a great show too.
I want to watch that. Actually, I have it.
Good.
I might start that either tonight or tomorrow. I was talking about it the last few weeks, and I do want to start
season's
that.
on Netflix because it's a CBS show, and I refuse to pay for the CBS app. I don't know why, because I'll pay for Peacock, but CBS, screw you. But yeah, that show's great. Evil.
But they have some good originals though, because I like you. I'm like, when The Walking Dead ends. Because I'm paying for AMC Plus, which is a pretty good app, but it's $8, and I don't need it for $8.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm probably gonna cancel it. And then I'm like, oh, well, I could go for the CBS app because I like some of the originals interest me. But again,
I think The Stand is on
it's
CBS. If I remember correctly,
it is.
It's so good.
Is it? I haven't seen it.
I love the book. It was such a great book.
I couldn't get through the book.
I loved it. It took me a long time to read it, but
I love Stephen King and he's incredible and everything like that. But I couldn't. I tried. I think the show is great though.
Check it out.
All right, do you guys got any more you can add to this wonderful story?
No. We kind of devolved into other conversations, but
all right, I can edit it all out. It's not a big deal.
No, it's cool though. No, that was it.
I'll keep some of it in there. Like when you saw the ghost in the background, I'm gonna keep that in there. And a ghost stuff talk. I'll keep that. But The Walking Dead, I'll probably edit out.
It's it was just if anybody out there listening, you should if you're interested in it, do a Google search on it. It's really fascinating, and creepy story, and it's. I had a lot of fun just research. I love research when I'm into the subject. I find it so fun. So
good. Then you could be a researcher for our paranormal team.
Cool.
If you want, we need a good researcher. Because I am not it. I can't. I try and I can't find anything on anything. And one of the girls at work, she does it for me. She finds all kinds of stuff. I'm like, how do you do that? I can't find a damn freaking thing.
You got to be clever. Like even with this.
Well, I'm not clever, obviously.
No, but I mean, like with this one, it was tough when I would just put in "the devil made me do it." That's what I was putting into a Google search, and just stuff for the movie was popping up. So then you just got to be like clever with what else you add to your search. I did in real life, and then stuff started popping up, and then you figure it out. It's But yeah, I love if I'm into the subject, I love research. If I'm not into it, I hate research. But
it is fun when you do an investigation, finding the background of a location. Because that part of it, I'm into. I love history, which I never used to, but because of the paranormal, it's got me so much into our history.
Cool.
And that we'll have to do that sometime. Talk about some of our techniques for our team and doing stuff. We'll do a tech episode.
Yeah.
Shae can be her own tech.
I am my own tech.
She is her own tech.
Cool.
So do that.
So next week we are discussing Wendigo.
But when do you go?
Yeah, when do you go?
Next week?
After the Wendigo. Next week?
Yeah, Wendigo it will be, for all you listeners out there, we will be discussing Wendigos. I became super fascinated by Wendigo during this when I was watching the series Hannibal, and I actually have a Funko Pop of a Wendigo, which is one of my favorites, all black, and it's really cool stuff. So all you listeners and viewers out there, definitely tune in next week again.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun episode. I cannot wait for that.
Yeah,
Shae, you gonna come back and talk about Wendigo?
I will be here.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, any final thoughts, Shae?
I feel like I'm less special of a guest now because I'm always here. Just saying.
Fine.
I feel like I'm not so special now.
Me and Roy were talking about it last week after we got off, and it's like I love having you on. Like it's great. It's the third person. It makes for a good dynamic.
You're a woman, which is always nice.
Which is nice because it's sometimes with our other show it gets a little testosterone in there.
Testosterone.
The real San Francisco dream.
It's nice to have your perspective, and then you're in the field, which is great. So I love that you're doing the shows with us. I think it's great.
No, it's so much fun the geek perspective is a little hard because most Saturdays I'm at work and I just can't get it in time. But I love doing this one.
Awesome.
That's fine. But if you ever get out of work early, you can always pop in late too if you want.
Okay.
That show's usually about 45 minutes to an hour generally. For whatever reason, we just kind of go within that time range. But yeah, if
we got to get Graham on too, because I just listened to a podcast on Bigfoots, and I'm coming around on Bigfoot now.
Oh man, all the text.
We got to get Graham on.
That one we might have to do on a Sunday because he works Saturday.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get home until like 4 or 5, and he does things around the house. So unless it's later on a Saturday evening, he might be able to do it on a Saturday evening. He might have to come over here because
just at some point, because
he threw his computer across the wall or something. Graham.
Oh boy.
Broken or something.
I now I'm coming around on it, and I know he's big into it. So Are you
gonna go squatching now?
No. Probably not. I'd love to hear his stuff. Like this podcast made me look at it a little differently. So it's get him on sometime.
Definitely. All right. So that's our show for today. I want to thank everyone for listening. If you're watching on YouTube and like our show, which you should because it's amazing, subscribe to our podcast. The link will be down in the subscription. And if you're listening on the podcast through our podcast, you can go to our website, www.podpage.com/The Reaper Paranormal Show, and sign up however you listen, whether it be Apple, iTunes, Amazon, Audible, Amazon, Spotify, anything you can listen to your podcast on. We're probably on it. Castbox. There are boxes on our website. You click on it, you subscribe, boom, you get all our episodes when they get released. And they are released every Thursday. So, everyone, if you're listening, thank you very much for listening to our show. Subscribe and join us for the fun. Comment below. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about. Because we always want to talk about paranormal fun stuff. So, yes.
You set off my Alexa.
Yeah, mine didn't go off, ironically.
Alexa.
Okay, yeah, no, I do nothing.
Alexa, stop.
So for Tom and Shae, thank you for listening. Tune in next week for another great episode, The Wendigo. Have a good night, everybody. You too.